Hello, my name is Melissa Duprey, graduate of University of Houston School of Theater and Dance, 2010.
Well, when you were here, who were some of the teachers that really stuck out to you and made an impression?
It's an awesome program, and I really admired the fact that most of the professors were from the Midwest. But particularly Jim Johnson came from my neighborhood here in Chicago. It's such a small world because he's very familiar with Humboldt Park, this small community of Puerto Ricans. And so when I came to the university and I got into his class, he was just so shocked that I had lived in Houston for so many years and never once picked up any kind of twang or Texas accent at all. I totally kept my Puerto Rican, Humboldt Park, Chicago Rican accent, and because he deals with accents, he's very keen on that. He was like, he was very impressive to him, and he knows the neighborhood, and he was from here, so I just thought that was a great way to connect, and he's, extremely funny, but also Dr. Rob Shimko, an amazing, brilliant dramaturg, and he teaches theater history. I was just blown away by how detailed and how knowledgeable he is in everything, and I really enjoyed his class, just his teaching style and basically his expertise. Jim Johnson and Dr. Shimko, theater history and voice, teaching theater scansion and things like that. Those are my favorite classes, really, above all, but I really find the most interesting class that I ever took was with Carolyn Houston Boone, who is very much still a working actress as well. But the very first time that I went into her class, you hear legends of Carolyn and being this hard-up teacher who's always just going to be, really stern and she was a judge for these UIL competitions and you always hear things like you're going to be in Boone's class, it's going to be super hard, she's real stern. And the first day that I was in her class, she's basically drilling you on what to expect, and at the end of the class she kind of opened it up to questions, and she's like, all right, babies, you guys have any questions for me? And I basically raised my hand and said, not to talk about the elephant in the room or nothing, but I heard you were a bitch. and how do I deal with that and still be able to be vulnerable and safe in the space, acting for someone who, is legendary in being this hard ass. And she was like, that's a very fair and honest question, and I'm glad you asked that.
I could have gone one of two ways. I'm glad it went that way.
I could have gone, but that's exactly what happened. And from then on, it's just like you come into that class with falls. You just come in there and you get prepared to give it her all, and she in turn will give you everything that she's come to learn over the years. And with Carolyn, it's just she'll give you this dead stare, dead look in her eyes when you're just putting shit up in the classroom, when you're just not doing well. But she will sit there with you until you can connect somehow, and then make us connect with you. So I just thought it was, it was the expertise. The whole entire staff there at UH has been handpicked. And I thought it was my experience there was incredible. It just so happens that the work that I was going to get was going to be back here in Chicago.